Okay, so on this page, it says find the value of sine, cosine, and tangent for each angle indicated. Give your answer as a fraction and in decimal form. They ask us to round to 3 decimal places. Okay, so this is where I'm going to start by writing my mnemonic device up here. So, ka, toa. And that just helps me remember. Okay, so number 1, sine of A, cosine of A, and tangent of A. So all of these are in relationship to angle A. So I want to first of all circle angle A. I want to label my opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So my hypotenuse is this longest side, in this case 37. My opposite is 12, and my adjacent is 35, okay? So sine, we said sine is opposite over hypotenuse, okay? My opposite for this triangle is 12. My hypotenuse is 37. So 12 over 37, and then we want to actually divide those and get the decimal approximation as well. Let me get a calculator real quick so that we can get that. Okay, so when I divide 12 divided by 37, that gives me 0.324, rounding to 3 decimal places. Okay, and so that is what they wanted me to answer for that sine ratio. So then cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And so adjacent here is 35 over my hypotenuse, 37. So when I divide those, I get 0.94, and it rounds to 6, okay? Originally it was 0.94594, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and so we're only going to that 3rd decimal place. And this 9 causes the 5 to round up to a 6, okay? Okay, so 0.946. My last one, tangent, is opposite over adjacent. And so opposite here is 12. Adjacent is 35. So 12 over 35. And that gives me 0.343, okay? Once again, it was 0.34285, blah, blah, blah. But that 8 causes the 2 to round up, so it's 0.343, okay? Okay, so those are our correct answers on number 1. Let's see here. If we do number 3, I can do number 3 for you if you like. If you are at the point where you think you've got this, then I want you to go ahead and try 2, 3, and 4 on your own. If you need one more example, then I'll do one more example on number 3, and then you'll try the evens that are left there. So you can go ahead and pause this right now if you'd like to try the last 3 on your own. Okay, so for those of you who would like number 3, this one says sine, cosine, and tangent of x. So I'm going to circle x. I'm going to label my hypotenuse, my opposite, and my adjacent. So sine, remember, and I'm just going to use letters this time, O over H, opposite over hypotenuse. So this would be 5 over 13. If I divide those, I get 0.385. And cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, or A over H. And so when I set that up, I would have 12 over 13. 12 divided by 13 gives me 0.923. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent, or O over A. That would be 5 over 12. 5 divided by 12 gives me 0.417, okay? And that was 0.41666666, so on and so forth. But the 6, causes the other 6 to round up to a 7. Okay, so there's number 3. So hopefully at this point we're catching on. If you're not, take a minute to find somebody around you that can maybe fill you in, and pause this video, give everybody a chance to complete number 2 and number 4. And once everybody has number 2 and number 4 done, then press play again, and I'll show you the answers, and we can move on to the next section. So go ahead and pause the video at this time. Okay, so here we go on numbers 2 and 4. I actually just realized that I wrote those wrong, so let me redo that. So sine O over H. Oh, and I didn't go through and label. Okay, let's see here. So X, here's my O, my A, and my H. Okay, so the answers for this one actually end up being the exact same as the ones that we had on number 1. So instead of taking the time to rewrite all of those, I'm just going to say same as number 1. Okay, so you ended up with the same measures again on that one, even though you had different letters. So check those against what you had for number 1. So down here on number 4, let's see, it's all in terms of Z, so I'm going to circle Z. I'm going to label my O, my A, and my H. Sine is O over H, opposite over hypotenuse, so this is 12 over 20. If you'd like to simplify it, you can divide by 4 for each one. We get 3 over 5. And when we divide those, we get 0.6. For cosine, that's A over H. That would be 16 over 20. Those are also divisible by 4. So we end up with 4 over 5, or 0.8. And then tangent is O over A, opposite over adjacent. So this would be 12 over 16. Once again, divisible by 4. So we get 3 over 4. And that's 0.75. Okay, awesome. So I hope we're good to go on those. So now we're going to move on to the next part of our notes, where we have to use our calculators in order to calculate these different trig ratios to the nearest 10,000. So 10,000, that is 4 decimal places. Okay. Okay, so you are going to need your calculator for this part of the notes. So let's pause just a minute and make sure everybody has a calculator that they can use. And then we will come back together and do these. These are actually really easy, but we do need to be able to use our calculator for it.